Hello everybody, this is the Average Investor here again. This is my next video on is the 401k a lie? This is the next part that continue on the continuation of my previous video. And before we were talking about how this can be such a problem, and the reason is the 401k is likely a lie is because of the amount of fees. So if you look at your 401k and you read the mutual fund prospectus that your 401k might come with, you'll begin to realize that there are a lot of fees that you're subject to. And there are a whole slew of fees. So there are fees such as asset management fees, trading fees, marketing fees, record keeping fees, administrative fees, retirement fees, and fees and fees and fees and fees. And most investors are not aware of the vast number of fees. And this, all in all, after all these fees are said and done, the average amount of fees, say in a mutual fund, could run anywhere between 1.3% to as high as 5% of your rate of return over every year. Now you might think, well, 1 to 3.5 or 1.3 to 5%, that's nothing. But over 25 years, with a fee of say 2%, would cost you approximately 155,000. And my next example will show you how that happens. So say on the right, sorry, on the left here, you can see that if you had a mutual fund that gave you a 7% return and you had invested 100,000, you would begin with an investment of $100,000. After 25 years, your investment that returned 7% would get you about, and you had an annual and you added $1,000 every year, you would make approximately $481,000. But if you had a mutual fund that said made 7% return and then charged you a 2% return as a fee, in actuality you'll only be making a 5%. So a 5% return would yield on $100,000 with $1,000 every year added in, would only make you 327,000 some odd dollars after 25 years. So if you do the math, you can see that almost 482,000 subtracted by almost 328,000 would be about approximately 154,000. So this is a large problem. This is a lot of money over 2%. So, and that 155,000 could mean the difference between having enough or not having enough money in the twilight years of your life. So there is a man by the name of John Bogle who is actually a very famous investor, and he stated something like this: would you invest in something where you put on 100% of the capital, you have 100% of the risk, but you only get 30% of the gains? That's not fair. So his suggestion is essentially, this will be later on, but his suggestion essentially is low-cost index funds that maybe charge you 0.5%. But I'll get to that in the next video. So one of the reasons why we have so many fees is because there are issues like this: legal kickbacks. So basically, how the legal kickback, per se, in quotes, happens in mutual funds is like this. You start off with a broker and a mutual fund. The mutual fund spokesperson comes to the broker and says to them, can I place our funds on your list that you would then give to others? So the broker says to the mutual fund individual, okay, I'll put your mutual fund on my list that I give to clients, but I want some compensation from your fund for doing this. The mutual fund will say, sure, we'll just charge a fee for this promotion. So the broker is getting essentially paid by the mutual fund, and the mutual fund, instead of coming out of their pocket, is actually being charged to you. So you're actually paying the broker to get these lists of mutual funds. So everyone's a win-win except, of course, the investor. So this is just one of the one of the ways kickbacks and Hawaii fee just seem to get higher and higher year after year. So if you actually look in your prospectus, there's something called revenue sharing, and that's the code word for this legal kickback. Look through it; you can actually find it if you do enough searching. And that is basically the end of this video. And the next video, we'll discuss, or I'll discuss what the frontline special, the legal gamble, um, the retirement gamble, was saying as possible solutions, although there was no real possible solutions. Thank you very much. Bye bye.